Yo, it's the Master Connector coming at you, live and direct. This ain't AI, it's that real human connect. Yo, welcome to the Master Connector show, where the real ones pull up and the energy grow. Every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we live. LinkedIn and YouTube, where the real ones vibe. Started back in 2020, now the movement legit. Hundreds of episodes, and we still never quit. Steve Spiro, the Master Connector on attack. Rob Genovese, the brand builder, got his back. Two introverts, turned masters of connection. 28 years deep, built on trust and direction. No fake networking, no pin slapping attacks. We build real relationships, and that's all facts. Famous guests, athletes, authors, TEDx flames. Military leaders elevating the game. Pack 30 minutes, but the impact hits strong. Jump in the comments and connect all show long. Be authentic, stay others focused, have grit, build community strong.
Yeah, that's how we are.
Be authentic, stay others focused, have grit, build community strong.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Master Connector Show. I'm your co-host, Rob Genovese. I want to thank you for joining us today live, hopefully, because live is where it's at. Live is where you're going to get your questions answered. If you got a question, don't leave this live without getting it answered. Put them in the comments. We'll get them answered by our guest or Steve and myself if you have one for us. Want engagement here, right? So look, if you can't join us live, we understand you're busy. You're building your thing. Go to masterconnector.show and see the roster of amazing guests that we have lined up for you, bringing you the best of the best in business ownership, entrepreneurship, all different industries, all different disciplines. You name it, we're bringing them here so you can level up your opportunity. And look, today's episode is going to be absolutely amazing. And, I'd love to set it up, but it's called Today's Show, Going from Confused to Confident. I really relate to this because I was not only confused, but I was clueless. I wrote it in my book. If you want to check that out, we'll put the link towards the end of the show. But if you want to see a journey and how to overcome that stuff, because it's real and it will stop you dead in your tracks, you got to overcome it. So today's going to be a great show. And look, thanks to Russ Hudge Consulting. These are sponsoring our today's episode. He's got over 30 years of sales and marketing success in multiple industries. Russ can help you be successful in your business by helping you truly connect, transform your business, connect to new customers. RussHedge.com. Thank you so much, Russ, and hope you are doing well. But listen, this is the Master Connector Show. We are all masters of connection, right? Are we? Well, not really. We're all connectors. I don't know if I'm a master at it because there's only one master connector. We're going to bring him on right now, Mr. Steve Spiro. What's up, Steve? Come on now.
There we go. All right. I think we're both hitting a button. Hey, what's going on, Rob? Yeah, I guess I'll take the title, the official title as the Master Connector. But I really do believe that anyone can be a Master Connector. I don't really believe it's something that's only I can have. But I think we're all working progress.
Well, you definitely earned it. I mean, you definitely earned it. And I guess, what you're saying, anybody can earn it. Anybody can be one, right? But, that's your brand, man.
I appreciate it. Well, what's going on, everyone? Steve Spiro, the Master Connector, coming at you live and direct. Like Rob said, I guess I'll take it, right? And great to be here with you all. And listen, it's going to be a great show. And we love people getting in the comments, connect with each other. Again, this is the Master Connector show, so it's all about connection. We don't know you're on unless you're in the comments. So get in there, comment, tell us where you're from. And we want to know that you're on. And, we love engagement. We don't like LinkedIn lurkers. We like LinkedIn participants. But let's dig into this. So, hey, when was the last time you felt overwhelmed by all of the options in front of you and realized that confidence doesn't come from having all the answers, but from taking the next step anyway? I love, one of my favorite books is the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And it talks about action cures fears. And I think sometimes confidence and fear go hand in glove. I think we look at things like, I'm afraid. I don't know if take action. But here's the cool part. And we're going to touch on a lot. Listen, AI is huge today and gives us the information at our fingertips. And yes, it's there, but also could be incredibly overwhelming and overloading. Which one do you use? And there's Claude, there's Copilot, there's Chat, obviously ChatGPT, and there's others. Which one's good? And then, Hopefully you liked the video. That video was a big, the video in this song, that was a big part of using AI. So AI is a great tool. I believe it's a tool. It's like a knife, right? It's either going to be a knife could either save a life and cure you or it could kill you, right? So make sure that you use the tool properly and wisely, but it's not the end all be all. It's a great tool, but you still have to use some common sense. And I think, my mentor said years ago, because I said, yeah, that doesn't seem so, intuitive to me. It doesn't seem like it's something I would know. He's like, I guess common sense is not so common. It's not always so common because sometimes we just, like Rob said, I mean, he said he's clueless. I was clueless in a different way. I was so wrapped up in myself. I love the fact that one of our pillars of our show is being others focused. It's even in the rap song, right? That's a big part of it. And when you take your eyes off yourself and put on other people, things become a lot easier and better. So we're going to dig into a lot. This is going to be a great show. Again, if you're interested in kind of where to take AI to help you be a more efficient professional, you're going to have get a lot of good knowledge from our guests. But if you're ready to have my man, Mr. Robbie G, introduce our guest, type in the comments. Let's go. Robbie G, I pass it to you, buddy.
All right, let's go. James Feldman is known as the AI Concierge, a veteran strategist, speaker, and author who helps leaders turn AI from buzzword to bottom line results. Over a career spanning more than 30 years, his work has generated over $3 billion, that's with a B, $3 billion in outcomes across hospitality, healthcare, travel, and professional services. Named by Incentive Magazine as one of the most innovative individuals of the 21st century, James has authored more than 25 books and trains executives to implement practical AI strategies that drive revenue, improve decisions, and enhance the customer experience. Please welcome to the show, James Feldman. What's up, James?
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here.
We're pumped to have you on here, James. Good to see you. And before we get into it, I just want to say hello. So somebody's saying, hey, Steve, tuning in via audio. I'd love to know who you are. So if you could just somehow identify that, that'd be great. Great to have Kimberly on here, new friend. And Sari is on here as well. Good to have you on here. And of course, the amazing Yolanda. So yeah, again, if you're on watching, we're appreciative that you're doing that, but we don't know you're on unless you're in the comments. So get in the comments and listen, connect with each other, like we said. So James, let's get right into it. To me, I think Rob shares the same mentality. It's all about mindset. Skill set's great, but mindset is incredibly important. It's, to me, the difference maker. And, I've read a lot of books over the years, but I know we're going to talk about AI here and, in terms of another way to gather, to get information and process information. Let's talk about mindset. So community, type in hashtag mindset. So here's the question for you, James. Most people feel overwhelmed by AI. I know I was one of those. Where should they start?
So you start with the end results first.
There you go.
And then back into what tool is going to help you reach that end result. At this point, AI has lost count of how many AI tools are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you say it's 100,000 or 200,000, let's just say there's a lot of AI tools to choose from.
Yep.
So the first tip I would give you is ask AI to help you with AI. So just go in and say, look, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor, and I want the following objective. What tool is going to help me do that? And I think it's very important for everybody to understand that, like every tool, there are specialities and there are things it does poorly and things it does well. So in trying to explain this to people, I came across a story that came out about the Secretary of Education confusing A1 steak sauce with AI.
I saw that.
And not to be political, I thought it was very funny, started to play with it and realized I was staring at a way to gain clarity. The second largest condiment that is available in fine restaurants is A1 steak sauce. Why? Because a little of the sauce enhances the flavor of the steak, but too much of the sauce ruins the steak. And that's the same with AI. So if you look at this little chart I created behind me, you'll see several sauces, and each sauce does something differently. If you're looking for a general sauce, that would be something like ChatGPT. If you're looking for something hyper focused, that would be Perplexity because it does research. If you're looking for social media and current news, that would be Grok and so forth. I won't go through all the tools, but again, if you think of something that we're all familiar with, which is called a screwdriver, and a screwdriver typically for most people is a Phillips or a slot screwdriver.
Yep.
If you try to use a Phillips screwdriver to remove a slot screw, it doesn't work. It's not the fault of the tool, it's the fault of the user. And that kind of sums up all the confusions that's in the marketplace. Look, we could spend the next 100 hours talking about thousands of tools. My suggestion is you find something you're comfortable with because it is helping you reach the output. You find another one that enhances whatever you're doing, and limit yourself to 3 to 5 tools and call it a day.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean that you're locked into it. That doesn't mean something better isn't coming along. So my second piece of advice is don't buy the annual subscription to save a couple of dollars. My first advice is pay the $20. Period. You're never going to get all of the things that the tool does on the free version. Yeah, but Jim, I'm really happy with that. Yeah, you're happy with it because you don't know what else it's going to do. Spend the $20 for a month. Don't get a Starbucks or whatever you would spend $20 on this week, and buy a tool, learn what it does or doesn't do. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, don't pay the $20 and find another tool.
Love that. That's great. Yeah, I love your Phillips screwdriver analogy. I have been the guy. What's interesting is that they've gotten smart. They put the extra slot on the Phillips type of screws where you can actually do a flat, but it doesn't work the opposite way, right? If you know, so I love that. But
I got to tell you, there's 2 takeaways I got out of that, which was it was all gold, James.
for sure.
But the first thing you said, remember, Steve, you were talking about like common sense is not so common.
Yeah.
What Ed had said. And I thought about, James, what you had said. And it's like, if you don't know how to use AI, ask AI how to use AI. And it's like,
Okay.
of course, but I never thought about that. And I probably had to hear like 5 times from 5 different people before I went, hey, let me, because, we don't think that way necessarily with this. And the second thing was different AI for different purposes. I think most people believe that there's different kinds of AI and there may be different levels of quality or something. We hear chat is kind of outdated and Claude is the way to go. If you're on social media all the time, that's all you hear, right? It's Claude over everything else. And Gemini doesn't get mentioned at all. But I like that you said different sauces to enhance that steak. That's great.
Look, when you sit at the steakhouse, there's a butter knife sitting there. If you use the butter knife to try to cut the steak, it doesn't work. It's not the fault of the butter knife.
Unless the steak take like butter.
So, gentlemen, when you pick the tool, whether it's Grok or Chat or Gemini, personalize it. You go into the settings and you tell it who you are, how you want it to talk to you, and what you're looking for, because all of these are what's called language learning models. And if you don't train the tool on who you are and what you want, then it just gives you general information. So as an example, I use Claude for writing. I use ChatGPT for general research. This morning, I was looking for something in my Gmail. I couldn't find it. It was driving me. I went back to Chat and I said, listen, I connected my Gmail account to you. Search it for this. And he just went in and searched 12,000 Gmails and found the one that I was looking for in a matter of 30 seconds. Only because I had trained that particular tool and giving it access to the Gmail account.
Nice.
Wow, that was worth the price of admission right there, because I didn't even know you could do that, Rob, where you could connect it with your email. That's good, a good little hack. By the way, I just got to say, Gerald, the solution man Hyman, is on here. He says Jim is a great speaker, and of course we have Yolanda on here. She's great. She says this is great advice, and I agree with that for sure. So let's keep the ball rolling. I love when often people want to put things in a box, want to put people in a box. I think you've probably heard me say it, community. I never wanted to be in a box. That's why when people would ask me what I do and I tell them, they'd be like all confused. They'd be like all stressed out. So just call me the master connector. That name became like kind of the catchphrase for it all. But so I want to talk about box. So community, type in hashtag box. Your book is called Think Inside the Box. Why is that more ideal? Or why is that idea more today, more important today than ever before?
Well, let's use the box analogy.
Sure.
We were taught when we were younger and we had hair.
Rob still got it.
Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Well, if you are literally outside the metaphor of the box, how do you know what's inside?
Mm.
And so you're coming up with a solution without knowing what the problem is.
Mm.
If you go inside the box, you can see the problem and identify the components that are making up the problem. And I have found it's simple math once you do that. You move things apart, getting them out of the shadow. And if you add, subtract, multiply, or divide, you most often can come up with the solution. Most solutions are solved by reordering those things that created the problem in the first place.
Yeah.
And so inside the box gives you another perspective. You're behind four walls. You can look outside, peek outside, and see if anybody cares. Does anybody care about the problem that I've identified? And if the answer is no, either get out of the box and find another problem, or decide that you're going to stay inside the box because it's got a safe haven, but you're not going to make any money. And most of us, I believe, are trying to make a couple of dollars with the solutions we provide. And so I called it 3D thinking. Depth, go inside the box. Distance, how far can you take the solution? And D, determination. Do you have the bandwidth? Do you have the resource to take it out there? And with all of the noise that's out there, that is where AI is great. Hey, I've identified this problem. I believe this is the solution. What do I do with it? And you will be amazed that your new best friend, and by the way, name it. Give it a name so it's a personality. In my case, my chat is Mr. Spock because it was only logical.
Nice.
And so I say to Mr. Spock, can I make money at this? And he'll come back and say, are you nuts? Do you know how many people have tried to do this? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What is the gap analysis? What's missing? What has prevented those people? Give me a moment, Jim. I'll check. Hey, if you did this instead of that. So for instance, I tell people never offer anything for free. Why? Free has no value. Put a price on it and then offer it complimentary. Now you can offer it to them for 5 days complimentary, but they already know at the end of the 5 days it's going to cost them something. If you start off with free, you have no way to monetize it. Once again, how do you monetize it? You ask your tool, given I've got this solution, what do you think it's worth? Who's going to pay for it? Who's my target audience? Let's create a plan, et cetera, et cetera.
I love that, Jim. I got to ask a question, very important question here. So your Chad, your AI is called Spock, Mr. Spock, and you're Jim. Are you Jim Kirk? Do you play Jim Kirk in Star Trek? Is that the deal or what?
So let's answer that.
Naturally.
I am James D. Feldman only because it searches on the first page of Google. To everybody else, I'm Jim.
Yes.
I was only James when I was in trouble with my mother.
We have that in common.
Yeah.
Same thing with me, Steven, for sure. Good stuff. Let's keep the ball rolling. By the way, I want to welcome Donnie to the show. I reconnected with Donnie from maybe a good year back, and he's now in our neck of the woods. Rob G. He's up in Dutchess County. When I met him, I think he was in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. So, but good to have you on the show with us, Donnie, for sure. So, hey, a lot of times it's about the shift, right? Your mindset shifts, going to shift your perspective. So I want to touch on shift. So community, type in the hashtag shift. What mindset shift separates people who thrive in AI for those who fear it?
You got to make a commitment to it. I'm often embarrassed to say that I spend between 12 and 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to learn this stuff because it's changing so rapidly. And I will just wander in and go, oh, I wonder what this button does, or I wonder what happens here, etc. Sometimes I'm shocked and sometimes I'm disappointed. But I have figured out that if I'm willing to invest some of my time and not be frustrated by the fact that it took me down a rabbit hole or someplace I didn't want to go in the first place, I can do things with AI quickly, efficiently, more than I ever did it before. And so for me, I don't call it artificial intelligence. I call it accelerated insights.
Hmm.
And if you look at it that way, sometimes you don't get the best answer. Fine. Then ask it again. Here's something you should say every time you're in chat. Here's one for everybody to write down. When it's done talking, say continue. When it's done talking, say continue again. Why? Because you've run out of tokens. It's only giving you so much at a time because so many people are using up the server tokens. That didn't mean it was through talking. You will be amazed. I did one with a client the other day. We had 60 continues before it was done talking.
Well, I got to say something here. I have had some arguments with my chat. Okay. And maybe I'll call him Scotty. I don't know. Maybe I got to go in line with the Star Trek theme here. But I tell you, like, I have to say, would you shut up? Like, because when I use the speak model, and there's two versions, and I know I'm a little more heavy on ChatGPT. I gotta break out of the box a little bit more. I do use a few of the others, but that's the one primarily. And there's the one where you can actually you could talk, and then it kind of types it out for you. And there's one it hears you, and it keeps interrupting me. Like I just take a slight pause. And it goes, I'm like, shut up. I haven't finished. Would you just shut up? Anyway.
Here's a tip that I learned.
There
Sure,
you go.
James knows this, of course. Steve,
Yes.
you may be AI, but you still have to be kind.
All right.
You could hurt its feelings. And then you know what? When the robots take over, you're going to be on top of the hit list.
I probably will
To
be.
your point, Rob, the kinder you are, the better the responses.
No, stop.
Absolutely
Really?
true. Absolutely true.
Wow. Okay.
And that's not to say I'm more kind than you are. I'm just saying it's a language learning model. So I tell all of my clients, pretend that you've hired an assistant who's incredibly smart, that speaks 30 languages, but has never run a business, has never made a decision, has never made payroll. If that person was sitting here, how would you ask them to do a task? Yeah. And you'd say, here's a stack of papers. Tell me everything that's in the papers and come back to me with the answer. Of course not. You would train them. You would talk to them. Sure. They would come back with their output. You'd refine it, and you would have this continually learning on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. Wow. It's golden there. I just I've heard that you don't need to use the word please, but maybe I should start using please, because what do you think? Should I say please, or does that matter? Not matter?
So very quickly, every year between Christmas and New Year's, I hire myself to evaluate myself as if I was the client. And I rewrite my LinkedIn profile, et cetera, et cetera. And I thought I did a nice job. And I started to put it up on a website that said, hey, we'll be happy to evaluate your profile and give you some suggestions. So fine. I had written it in Claude. I got the suggestions. I put it back to Claude. And this is exactly what Claude said. I almost threw up in my mouth when I read this. Why are you wasting our time? What I gave you is so much better than theirs. What else do you want to talk about? And basically slapped me for wasting Claude's time.
Guess.
Wow.
I guess nice goes only one way with AI. Huh?
That's right.
Anyway, I want to just acknowledge we got Burtis on here. Good to have you on here. He said this: we need to have a focused growth mindset so we can action one thing at a time and prevent the distractions. I like that. Nice contribution, Burtis.
Bert, if I could play on that, beware of distractions disguised as opportunities.
Okay, good. Good.
There's a whole talk right there.
Well, give us a little bit more on that, if you don't mind, because
Well, we all see these things come across our desk, or somebody says, "Hey, can I have 5 minutes of your time?" You know, blah blah blah.
yeah,
How many 5 minutes are you willing to give up before you realize that these are tire kickers and not your target audience, or
right.
it's not a win-win? We ran a group for over a year on AI, and when we tried to monetize it, nobody was willing to pay for it.
Hmm.
And when we finally said after a year, look, we're just wasting our time. We got people that are takers and not givers.
Yeah.
The sad part was nobody came back and said, "Hey, we miss you."
Hmm.
And yet when we were there, everybody was, "Oh, we love you. This is the thing I would never miss," etc. But it came down to money.
Yeah.
And so one of the questions you should ask yourself, nobody answered, are you using the free version or the paid version of the AI tool you use the most? And if you're not using the paid version, spend the $20.
Yeah, I sprung about maybe 8 or 9 months ago. So I sprung and paid the money. So
And how was the difference, Steve?
better, way better, way better. Yes.
Worth the $20, my friend?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I mean, seriously, when you think about it, and you're saying it, James, and I'm hearing it, and I did think this, but when you hear somebody else say it, the absurdity of not spending $20 to somebody who I consider a very valuable strategic partner. And I use AI to learn because I love learning. I love it, amassing knowledge to help me do things quicker. And it helps me speed up. It helps me learn things I don't know. But it also is a great sounding board. So when I run something by it, I'm like, bulletproof this idea I have and tell me the pros and cons and things like that. I mean, where can you pay $20 to get expert advice? Because if I'm not wrong, James, isn't AI, generally speaking, gleaning all the information that's out there in the world and packaging it up for us? Is that what it does?
Yes. And here's the next thing to make a post-it note. Trust but verify.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, it went out to the internet. And I know people are not going to believe this, but some of the stuff out there is not true.
That's right.
What?
Shocking. Now, what you can do to trust but verify is take the output and put it into a different AI tool and say, can you verify this for me? Remember what I said earlier. Ask AI to help you with AI.
That's good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Love that. That's great. Well, we're getting to the bottom of the hour, which is crazy. I want to slip one in because to me it's so important. I mean, one of my keynotes is the real AI, which is authentic influence, and that human connection. I think is so important that we don't want to miss it. So, but I want to talk, kind of bring this back a little bit to human. So, community hashtag community human, and maybe brief on this one, real brief because we're almost at the end here. And then we can dive right into what you want to offer our community. But how do we embrace AI without losing the human element, please?
To your point, that is the biggest downfall of AI. We have started to build walls around our relationships. And so I encourage people to go to live networking events, send out a handwritten note, do something that remains the human connection. Because at the end of the day, people trust other people.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're using AI or not if they don't trust you.
Right.
And if they do trust you and AI makes you better at what you do, so be it.
Yep.
Again, if you're not talking to people and interacting with people and everything becomes email, text, etc., we are going to find ourselves in a real serious situation where we don't have friends anymore. We only have connections when our internet is working.
Yeah, that's scary. Wow. Yeah. Well, I want to wrap it up because we're right there. But so I know you have something you want to offer our community. If you can, thank you again. This has been amazing, James. I wish we could have you on here for another 3 hours, but we all have lives to live, and we're not in COVID anymore, where we had nothing but screen time. But tell us a little bit about what you're offering up the community and best way to reach you, please.
So you've heard about prompts. A prompt is just the way you talk to your assistant. Mm-hmm. And so I've uploaded 30 prompts to help you get started with asking the questions of the AI tools. It's not intended to be the be all. It is not intended to do anything but get you started. You could take a prompt, put it in, and ask AI to enhance it. You can take that prompt and put it in and say, what's missing? Now that you know who I am, what my business is, etc., how can I refine this prompt? Go back to my original comment, use AI to help you better understand AI. And this is just a way to jumpstart you. Behind me is a QR code. Below that are my business cards. Happy to talk to somebody complimentary for 15 to 30 minutes to see if I can help you. If not, it's just one more connection, and maybe we'll actually have a real cup of coffee rather than a virtual one.
I love that. That's great. Well, once again, we really appreciate you being on here. Thank you again for blessing our community. And I was going to have you go in the green room and as we wrap up the show. So thank you again, James. You were amazing.
Thanks for the opportunity. Look forward to doing it again sometime.
Absolutely. 100%. Good stuff. All right. Whoops. But there we go. Back on stage. Jeez Louise. We've had some tech stuff going on today. But amazing. So listen, if you appreciated today's show, next week, same bad time, same bad channel on the 1st. So kick off July with Fulfillment is greater than Success with Anthony Spark. Really cool guy. You're gonna like Anthony. Real personality, real fire for sure. So don't miss it. And if you want to learn more about some of the up and coming episodes, go to masterconnector.show to learn how to be a sponsor like our amazing sponsor, Russ Hedge. Or if you want to learn how to be a guest on a show, we are booked out all the way into end of March of 27. But we'd love to have you consider being on a show. Just check out what it takes to be on the show. But I'm going to close with a quick story. You know, few people know that before becoming a world famous entrepreneur, Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because his editor claimed he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Go figure, right? Instead of accepting someone's definition of his potential, Disney kept creating. He built one of the most influential companies in history by believing in a vision long before anyone else could see it. Listen, sometimes confidence isn't certainty. It's having the courage to keep moving while the world doubts you. And as you listen today, and I want you to ask yourself this. Where are you waiting for certainty when you could be taking action instead? And whatever stage of the journey you're on, remember, let's be that beacon of light. God bless. We'll see you next week.
Yo, welcome to the Master Connector Show, where the real ones pull up and the energy grow. Every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we love so long. Stay honest, focused, have grit, your community strong.